All right, what's up everybody? This is super exciting. I got my app Sconvert, which can take audio files, convert them into the old S samplers here, right? Which for your Gotek and your Zulu SCSIs. But here's what's super cool. I can now also go ahead and transfer over USB-C directly into RAM, kind of like the old Recycle 2.0 days over SCSI. So this is super badass. So what we have is I'm in Sconvert. I've already ran the conversion. I'll have other videos showing the new interface and how to do that. But here it is at the end where it's already converted. Normally it'd be right here where it has the SD card, no problem. But instead, click on USB-C. You can see I have my USB-C cable. Right now I am, let's try to zoom in. It's that this screen is being washed out with the, there we go. Oh my goodness, Apple, you're killing me. There we go. Okay. Sorry that like the whiteout is. There we go. All right. So we're on a S3200XL. I have the MIDI via SCSI turned on. I have the local SCSI ID set to 6, remote SCSI ID set to 7. Okay, that's the settings you have to have. The second thing is on the Zulu SCSI itself. There's little like dip switches on there. You have to have the initiator mode has to be turned on. Now one downside is when you do that, you can't use the SD card as a local drive. So if you still want to use storage on the drive, you'd have to either flip that switch back off, or you'd have to have like a second Zulu SCSI or Pi SCSI or whatever connected on like the back port instead of using like the internal, which is what I may end up doing myself. That being said, you could also skip it all together. Just use this RAM because not only can you push samples from here, but you can also pull samples back from the Akai. So check it out. So we're at this screen where we've already done the conversion. Instead of putting it to the SD card and moving it over, what I'm gonna do is see if I can zoom in so it focuses there. I know my phone is like struggle bus to focus right now. Okay, it's just telling me that there might be some samples on there. Do you want to clear the samples? Yes. Okay, so we're clearing the samples and now we're sending it. Boom, okay. And if we come over here, see, it's receiving the MIDI exclusive data. How cool is this? So speed-wise, so your overall, it's running around 330, 340 or so for the transfer in kilobytes per second. So not crazy fast, but also not super slow. The first version of this was setting about 4 kilobytes a second. All right, so it's come a long way. Unfortunately, this is the max I can get this particular thing to work. If you notice that PCM is around 660 or so, that is kind of seems to be the limitation on these old Akai units in terms of that's like the audio samples loading directly into RAM. It's around that 660. So not only do we have to load the audio samples directly in, but we also have to have all of the data going back and forth, the acknowledgement, the handshake, all that stuff back and forth. Again, look, this is running USB-C. I don't have anything else on my MacBook plugged in right now, right? I mean, there's no actual MIDI cable, no old SCSI connection or anything else. This is all USB-C connected to the Zulu SCSI. It's transferring it over. This is taking about a minute and a half or so to push this just about 30 megs over. So not lightning fast, but really not too bad. And again, one of the things that's sweet is that it's bi-directional. So we can also pull the samples back. So you could push the samples over there, do your edits, do some stuff, and then bring it back. And in another video, I will also show you one of the things that is, I have a light plugin, basically a performance mode that you can run like in Logic or maybe Ableton Live. So you can send MIDI and some parameters, etc. from Logic to control Sconvert, which will then send that data over the USB-C doing the MIDI via SCSI. So it really gets you back to that Recycle 2.0 days. So you can see it says the transfer is complete. If I come over here, samples, boom, you can't see the screen. There, we kind of see it. Just trying to focus. There we go. So you can see all the samples right in there. Cool. And they work. You can't quite hear that because it's just plugged into headphones. I had to watch the kids yesterday, and so I had to just bring my sampler up to the living room here. So I'm just like on the couch, not in my studio. But that's it, guys. This is super badass. So again, this is my app, Sconvert, and I'm pretty stoked. This is something I've wanted to work for a very long time.